I'm going to be loading some puts on Amazon. If it doesn't hold the high or the close, I just run it down into the, downward, I haven't taken any trades, guys. I'm just putting in my puts here for Amazon. And if it stays above the close, obviously I'm not going to do those, right?
10-4.
Got a little bit of a pop here. I think it's short-lived. Take some puts in Amazon here. It's not holding the close of yesterday. This is a scalp trade, guys. Yeah, super choppy. Just gonna ride the trend down here. Watching the cues, they're not green yet. They look like they're gonna stay red.
Thinking about calls here.
Yeah, I just want to see if this continues. It looks like it's gonna scissor back down though, Just because of the tick, there's no advantage. Seems really choppy upward,
Totally.
I'm just watching this volume chart over here of the 60,000, and it's stuck almost to the close within $3, It just hasn't, the upward momentum is slow, like it's just, so I'm personally puts for me today,
Yeah, there's some element of resistance there at 3180.
It's just the volume is super, super small with everything. So I kind of expected chop today, like just abnormal chop, I'm just seeing what the stock market did yesterday. It didn't hold the highs, and it gapped down to at least 50% of some of these moves,
Yep.
So I'm just not real excited about a long position, unless you're scalping it, okay?
Tesla's giving it up.
Yeah, when you see all these wicks and you see choppiness on the way up, reversals will happen, okay? You see no advantage on the tick, and puts is where you should be.
Great trade on that Amazon girl.
Yeah, I just wasn't going to get caught up in those little tiny candles up,
Yeah. I got a good scalp on it, and then I just didn't take it back down.
I'm just going to see what's going to hold the bottom of the channel here. If it holds the close and holds the bottom, I'll stay with it. If it doesn't, I'll just scalp out of it. But it's got to break through this bottom portion of the wick for me to feel really comfortable. Because we're trading the low volume. Low volume usually fades because there's not continuous, all right?
That is so true, man. I've watched that so many times now.
And it looks really, really strong, and then all of a sudden just bloop. It just means there's no more buyers.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything wrong. It just means everybody's fly fishing out in Idaho,
Yeah.
They're like they finally letting people travel. So which direction do you think I'm in Amazon, and why did I stay in it all the way down? Because it never crested,
The candle.
and then your cues couldn't get out of its own way. So now you take your profit here, because this is a scalp trade, okay? I think we're going to pop up though, guys. The consumer confidence index is insane. So we're probably going to go up for a minute here, okay?
Good call out, though.
Just because the news is saying, did you see that come across the CNBC?
Yeah.
So that may pull it up into a green with the cues, okay?
Yeah.
I don't usually trade news, but what I'm trying to do is keep you out of something that consumer confidence index is insane. Estimate was 90, it's 101. So we could get a pop here. I'm gonna take some calls here in Amazon.
Yeah, I got it. Right when you said that. Nice call out, man. See if it can hold.
If it goes into the MA, great. If it doesn't, we just get out. All right. So we're expecting like a 70, 3170. And if it can hold the 70, I stay in. If not, I'm out. Nothing crazy here, okay? The 3170. So we got a little bit of a pop here. So next stop could be the 3174 because that's the close, all right?
Yeah, Q's trying to fire off, breaking half of that candle.
Mm-hmm. And it may cross the MAs here. We got both situations going on here, where it's tucked right into the 11, and it looks like it wants to blow through there.
Yeah.
Those are some big numbers. Those are some big consumer numbers. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's holding the 70. Can we get to the 74 now? Ticks coming up. Qs look like they want to cross the 11 here. Once that does that, then we got a little surge past this 50% of these candles up.
3171.
Yeah, 3174 is the next stop. Because that would be the close of the previous day, right? So we just got low volume, very choppy. It looks like everything's moving an iceberg move,
Yeah, 3173 here, very close.
Mm-hmm. So I'm going to sell half right here.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Just I think we're going to get some resistance at the 74.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I figured our target was.
Mm-hmm. 75.
Mm-hmm. But the
Next
Qs
stop's
are
okay.
busting past the high.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is where it's going to hang up though. It was a morning star that broke up through on the 10, okay?
Yeah.
And news was telling us, hey, this is really, really good news. Like, it exceeded 10 points more. And you got to be able to see that and alert. So I'm out of this trade, but it was a good trade. That 74 was my out, so.
Yeah, I got out of that too, Daryl. Thanks.
Good morning, it's September 29th. Wanted to do a quick review of the trades I took today. And so what we look at is I took some puts in Amazon today, and you see some key numbers that we're looking at when the stock reversed. You can see the tail on Amazon right around 3186, 3187. And if you look back, you can see the resistance right here. With these green lines we call high of yesterday. Both times it hit there. But you can see the resistance on these days, on 9/11, 9/14, and right around 9/16, where it hit and exactly where it came and pivoted off of there. So there was one indicator of going down. Two, the pre-market volume, it wasn't holding the top of that channel either. So then we had that factor involved, where it hit right to the top of pre-market, but it just so happened to be right into the resistance of this, what we were just talking about. So I had a reversal downward move where I took puts for a nice profit. As you can see, it was just a beautiful move this way. So we got it downward. All right, the next trade I took was a moving average the other direction, upward. So now back to the first trade, you have to look at the tick was actually coming down, and also the Qs were not holding the MAs also. So just make that a point that there were some other things involved also. All right, taking the stock long, if you look at the 5-minute, you can see the reversal pattern coming back up into when these pull backwards. As you can see, we had an evening star down, but you can see this pulling within the 160. What I was concerned about was where the close was 3174. I wanted it to make sure that it moved up through there. So as soon as I entered the trade on the pullback up into this trade, I wanted to sell where the resistance was, and the resistance was always, it's usually where the close is, exactly at 3174. So the trade was off the star, back up $12. I sold in the strength. You could have easily sold, took half and went all the way back up, but I was happy with the $11 upward move. The market did the same thing. It did a reversal upward at the same time. And then you had the same thing happen with the tick. It hit the 1,000, kind of an extreme level. And then what it did is it bullied right back up. So you had a quick pop. So there's the two trades for today in Amazon. And happy trading.